All right, so good day, everyone. In this video, I would like to share my reflection after I did my uh, assignments on research methodology, and here we are. So, first, what I learned about the theory and the methods of thematic analysis as well as qualitative interview. Um, Let's talk about Brown and Clark's reflective thematic analysis first. So, what I like most, what I value most about this method is how flexible and reflective it is. Like, it stood out to me. They reminds us, reminds me especially as a researcher that I just don't find themes. I actively create and interpret them. My own thoughts, my own foreknowledge, my own experiences and opinion will definitely influence how I understand and engage and again interpret the data. I also appreciate that this method is gives a clear step-by-step procedure while still leaving space for a personal reflection and I would say creativity because again the this method specifically thematic analysis doesn't really subscribe to any implicit theoretical commitments or grounded theory. Therefore, again, giving the researcher a space for their own, reflection and again, creativity. It is both structured and open-minded, I would say, which makes it easier to use while still mm, produces a an in-depth and meaningful end product or report, I would say. And then from Qualis' idea about qualitative interview, one thing that I value most, and it stood out to me, same as before, it's the fact that interviewing is not about just collecting responses or collecting answers. It's actually a conversation where both the interviewer and the interviewee, help create meaning together, that co-constructed meaning. What we talked about, the questions we ask, and even the tone, the reactions, the attitude can all change how the participant responds. So the knowledge we get from interview is always built through that interaction, through that interview. It's not simply found, right? And this kind of reminds me that again, the qualitative method is about exploring someone's experiences towards a certain phenomenon or a certain um, topic. Then, um, in my future research, even though I will, like, most likely will not employ this method because I prefer, not dealing with subjects or, um, I would most likely do a quantitative research, but if I do, I think these two methods and these two ideas connect really well. Kovale on qualitative interview focuses on how meaning is made during the interview, while Brown and Clark focus on how meaning is analyzed after. And from my understanding, the interview will be the first step of creating meaning, and then thematic analysis would be the second step, where I look for common ideas, common patterns, common uh, you know stuff like that, and then I code them, and then I will create an overarching themes, um, across what people have said before in the first step, during the first step, during the interview. And both approaches reminds me that, again, research is shared and interpretive. It's not just a search for data or an objective truth. Um, and then, of course, if I do employ these methods, I also expect some challenges, and I think it will be hard for me to stay aware of my own bias while I interpret the data, because again, as I've said before, my own thoughts, my own opinions, my own foreknowledge, my own experiences will definitely affect how I interpret and engage with the data, and also need to be careful to go beyond simply describing what participants say and try to understand what they actually mean. I need to be careful to not just slap on this transcript of what the participant just said and not do anything about it. I need to again actively engage with them and interpret what they actually mean, keeping my analysis um, honest, and thoughtful. And overall, both of these methods have taught me that qualitative research is about understanding people, their thoughts, their opinions, their experiences, and creating meaning together through conversation, reflection, and thoughtful analysis. Thank you.